Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Shaniva Early, your craft doctor, with another live video today. And I told you that I was going to be starting a series with a heartfelt creation stamps. And so that is what I did. Um, what you're looking at right now is some heartfelt creation stamps. Hate that light on them. There's some heart creation stamps. So their stamps have dies to go with them. This collection that you're looking at right now is part of the Cherry Blossom Retreat. These are some other stamps that I'll be using later for some designs also. But it's the Cherry Blossom Retreat. Excuse me. And so I used them on my card that I will show you in a minute. The Heartfelt Creations stamps and dies. They you stamp them, you color them, and then the die cuts out closely around the image. So you don't have to worry about, or if you don't really want it, if you don't want that white around, their stamps cut so close that you won't have that white around them. They're excuse me, was considered a boutique company. Their stamps are on the more expensive side than what you would find at a Joann's or a Michael's or something like that. The average stamp is about 25-ish dollars a piece. They come in sets, or is it considered a set, or is it more like a grouping? Like all the stamps I just showed you, the dies, all of these come as a I don't know what you call it. They come as a set together, uh, and all of them coordinate with one another, so that when you stamp them out, they all match as a grouping, and you can make some really gorgeous designs with them. I've been following Heartfelt for quite a while, and so I have quite a bit of their stamp sets. So with this stamp set, I'm actually putting them. I keep them in this container here. This is one of those sheets from Totally Tiffany. Um, her her set where you put them inside of a book and you keep them on the rack. And I'm not sure what the name of that rack is right now. It's escaping me. But you put them all on a rack and you can thumb through them. And so I keep my heartfelt creations stuff in particular in these because I can put the whole grouping of stamps together. And I use these what is this blue stamp tape or whatever, blue tape, um this stuff, painter's tape, there you go, to kind of keep them closed because they come open very easily, um because there's no closures to them. So that is what I do all the time. And so this is the group of them, and it these are all the individual stamps and dies that come along in this set. But also with this set, you get what they call this flower pressing plate. So then once you cut your flowers out, you put them all in the grooves, you spray them with a little water, and you put this on and you run it through your embossing machine, because flower shaping mold, that is what this is called. Because before, there used to be the flower shaping kit, and we used to have to shape all of our stuff and that kind of stuff. And I bought this flower shaping kit because I used to shape them all. Plus, I use this when I take Heartfelt classes or I'm working with some of the Heartfelt stuff because I have quite a few of their stamps uh, configurations. And they come out with a new one every month or every other month, something like that. And so you please go over to their section. If you become a Prime member, or Premier member, or Platinum member, I think it's $100, and you become a Platinum member for life, and you get a discount. Plus, you get the ability to see the stamps before they come out, and so then and you get a discount, 20% off of everything automatically. As soon as you log in with your login, and so I use this flower shaping mold um, with that. And this is the card that I made. Oh, I also used this oval stitch, oval die from Crafty's Companion, and I used Nouveau drops on it also. Um, as I'm talking, I'm actually putting everything back because I don't like stuff all over my desk. And this is what I created. This cute as can be card. Let me put this. I hate that glare. That's my light up there. And so this is the card that I created. Let's get a closer. Let's closer. So in that collection, there was a die of a bird, and then these were the different sizes of flowers. So what I did was I stamped out the flowers, and I just got these new quick dry inks from Heartfelt from Crafter's Companion. I got the by the show. Thank you, Crafter's Companion, for finally getting this order to me. The colors are really beautiful and vivid, and I'm missing a couple, but this is really wonderful. So I stamped them out with this ink, and so that's that purple. And then I took the Copic marker, and I think it was this one right here. Nope, that one is. I took one of the Copic markers and I went inside of them to give them some color, but I didn't want them to be uh, bright white because I didn't want them to be white because I stamped on white cardstock. As you can see, that's white cardstock. I didn't want to stamp on white cardstock, so I colored in all of the stamps. And so I colored in all of the stamps. I didn't do any like extra detailing or anything on them. I just colored them in. And I the base of this card top. The base of this card top. I'm trying to get this marker off if I can. Um, and I can't. Okay, anyway. Is that bigger stamp, that whale, and then I colored it all the leaves green. And once I finished coloring all the green leaves green, all of the spaces that flowers are on, there's flowers. If you can see up underneath there, can you? Oh, here's a good one right there. It's a flower underneath them, right? So I thought that was really cute to make it look more real. And then I stamped out in that stamp set the thanks galore-ish that I have of thanks. I cut it out. What I did was I took a Copic marker and I went across the page to make my own color because this is such a deep purple. I wanted to match and go along with it. So I did that on the paper and then I stamped it out with that deep dark purple. And I lined it with that same purple to make it dark, or Copic marker of that same color. And then I added the Nouveau drops, and these are the Nouveau drops. And while I was trying to keep it upright, I pressed them in before they were dry on some of them, but it's still the inner parts. So I thought that was really cute. And then I made it an easel card. Thought it was so cute. I made it an easel card. Let me back up a little bit. So I cut out the bigger flowers. um, 3 of them, and I doubled up one, and I made this one a single one, and then this was a doubled up one, and then I cut out the leaves because they also came with leaves, and then that one leaf pattern I just cut it out. I stamped that with the um, quick dry ink seal brown, and it's brown, and then I took some green and brown um, green Copic marker and colored it in, and then I splashed some brown on it so it could still look green and brown together. And then all of these are lifted up with that 3D glue gel. If you can see, all of them is they are 3D lifted up. And then I put that together, and now this can go as a card. It's going to have to go to, when it's being mailed, it's going to have to go in a little box, or it's going to have to go through the post office with, through the non-metered mail. And so the premise for this card came from an idea that I had to work with one paper pad. And so I told you I had so much paper, and I never seemed to use up all of my paper pads. And so I broke out this paper pad. Um, and this paper pad is a DCWV. And I want to say I've had this paper pad for about 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, a long time. But it has some cute purple hues. So I have craft paper in here because and purple paper that I bought. I got this paper stack from Tuesday morning because it was just all purple, and it went with this. And then the papers are brown, green, and purple. And so that's why most of my backings have brown in it. This purple adds an extra layer when I need it. It's half glittered. Um, and so this is the paper. It has some really good, cute things, and I need to do a chop it, but I like 5x7, so I haven't chopped it up yet, because then that'll make me have to only do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cards, and I don't want to be stuck to that. And so this is the paper pad that I'm working with right now, and I have I hate bits and pieces. I cannot stand bits and pieces of paper, so I can try to do as many cards when I'm working with a paper pack as I can. So if I decide to stop using it, I don't have bits and pieces laying all over. So if you cut this out of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, you get about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards as such out of this, depending on how you cut it. And so that is what I've been kind of working on. 1 sheet of paper, maybe 1 1/2, something like that. And so these are some of the cards that I've made so far using this paper pad. Okay, put this up. And here we go. And so my focus is using my Heartfelt creation, uh, stamps and dies and such as such. And so this is a Heartfelt Creations Singing in the Rain stamp set. And I just went over it. I stamped it on that purple paper I showed you with some black. And then I went over it with Spectrum Noir's glossy pen, because I have that bunch of them glossy pens. And I went over the thank you, and the thank you was from that same set. And then I used a Stepping Up, an old retired corner punch. This is an old retired corner punch, but it's perfect to cut these corners. And I have corner punches from We Are Memory Keepers, the corner choppers. And so I can make different corners, because I have a bunch of these right here. And if you haven't seen what these are, is you just open them up. You just open this up, just like that. And you slide this in, and on one side, it makes that. And on the other side, it makes that. And so I have a couple of these. Matter of fact, I got to replace one because I broke it by accident. I think it fell on the floor or something. And so I have these corner punches, about 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Plus I have a bunch of borders and all kinds of stuff. But that's how I made this, is with that little Stampin' Up punch. And so that's this one. And then I made this one. This is still the Singing in the Rain collection. And this is still that same paper. I cut it out. I did not glitter this one up, only because if it happened to land in a hand of a man, I didn't want it to be too glittery, even though I had a glitter background. Okay, and then we got this one. It's just a card base ready to be designed, which I will use the set I'm working on and put a design on there. Same with this one. And when I cut the paper out, this is just the other side of it. Or maybe it's this side of it. I don't know. One of the two. Maybe it was the other end of it. Then I have this one that I just did a big thank you on with it. And I put ribbon across just to break up that background. And I won't put a design or anything. This is the full thank you card. And then this one and this one is just being ready to be design put on it. And this one, thinking of you, I just have to put a design on the top. And so out of that paper pad, this is how many cards I've gotten so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards, plus this is a half, or 4 inches or 5 inches. So I've gotten 8 cards. And the reason why it's 8 is because if you notice on this card, and where it is, this one, because when you do your paper and you cut them, it's you can get 3 like that from a 12 by 12, and then you got these 2 pieces hanging off the edge like that. And so what I did was just took those 2 pieces and I put some ribbon to delegate, or separate. And so that gave me 2 more cards to do. So out of a 12 by 12, you could feasibly make an A2 size card without doing like one card wonder design, by doing just a strictly how you cut it up with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can make 8 cards at least without doing the diagonal, because you can do the cut up and make probably 12 cards. But I did not. I didn't choose to do that. And so that's how I used up that one paper pad. And so I'm literally am getting 9 cards out of that setup. Okay. And in the process, I was working with that one card, and this is how it turned out. The one for my last video that I just stamped and stamped and stamped. I just put it on the blue card base, and now it's ready to be sent out. And then the last thing that I really want to show you is something that I was working on, well, second to last. Something I was working on, and I thought it was just a cute idea. I was looking at Simon Hurley. He's a young man who started doing stamping and stuff, and now he has his own line and all this kind of stuff. And he was showing how to do a card where it was a gatefold card, but he was cutting around all of the stuff. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, I think the card idea is really good, but all that fussy cutting, I hate fussy cutting. So the light came on, and how he did it. Oh, see that little thank you? So what I did was, I did exactly what he did, almost. He folded the card and made a gatefold. So I made a gatefold. Then I took another card front. So it was a card front. And then I stamped this. What is this? roses. I stamped the roses on there. And once I stamped the roses on here, I masked it off with some masking paper. I took the die, masked it off. I took a regular, I think it was a triple BV 444, one of these pens, and colored the background, right? So then after I did that, I took the mask off, and that's how this was left. Then I took this that piece of paper, that same piece of paper. I put the die on that piece of paper, but I only went halfway. Then I took that piece of paper with the rose on it that was halfway. I put it against this one side, and it left that other side. Then I stamped the thank you. No, I put this other side on that bumped up against here, and then I put the thank you on there. And so what it did was made me have a gatefold, just like he did, with half a card, and now it interlocks. So what he was making was an interlocking gatefold card. And so I did the same thing. I accomplished the same thing he did, except I used a die instead of fussy cutting, which is what he did. And I thought that was such a cute card. I had to stop what I was doing and make it right on the spot. And so this is the gatefold card that I came up with the interlocking, and I might put a band across to keep it closed. But it really kind of stays closed pretty much on its own by itself. And when you open it, you'll get that thank you. So I just really wanted to do something special with this card. And so that's this one. And then the last thing that I want to show you is this. This is the Stamps of Life gift card holder. And so I just took some scrap paper. This is the Ladies Who Lunch paper. And I had it sitting, scrap sitting, and it was driving me bananas. And so I just took it and cut it up and put it on here. And now I can put a gift card. It sticks right in there. And so now all I have to do is decorate it. And I think since it's from the Ladies Who Lunch, but it looks like a manly card, I may put a gift card in here for my husband or something for Father's Day. And so I just really wanted to show you that and how that works. And it's really, really cute. So that is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Stay tuned because I am coming next with another video with another haul item that I received yesterday or today. One of the two. All right. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one.